rookie, and then two most improved player candidates, Kalia Copper and Cheyenne Parker. And we are underway. The 2020 WNBA playoffs are here. A single elimination, win or go home, first round game between the Sky and the Sun. Copper goes to the reverse and lays it in.
Really good to see Kalia Copper aggressive early. She is a handful when she puts the ball on the floor. Get by her defender.
Thomas, the starting point guard, has been playing with plantar fasciitis for Connecticut as Brianna Jones unable to finish. She has dealt with injuries of her own. Both obviously on the floor here to begin this single elimination game. These teams split their two meetings during the regular season as Parker, nifty little spin, couldn't finish. Here comes Thomas, always capable of coast to coast, but lost it out of bounds. It'll stay with Connecticut.
Alyssa Thomas, so good when she gets out in transition, and that's where she thrives, when she gets that defensive board and pushes it the other way. There were 4 Chicago defenders there, Ryan. She didn't care. She's accustomed to scoring in traffic.
Alyssa Thomas, a monster season. First player in Connecticut history to average 15.5 points, 9 rebounds, and at least 3 assists. She averaged nearly 5. Here is Thomas. Her jumper rims off. The offensive board for Alyssa Thomas. And the possession continues for Connecticut. Jasmine, the hard bounce pass. Alyssa Thomas bunny hops it in.
Ruthie Hebert is going to have her hands full today defensively, going against Alyssa Thomas, especially trying to navigate defensively the pick and rolls.
Here is Parker, who has been a force for Chicago this season. And a whistle against Connecticut will keep things right here.
Alyssa Thomas is dangerous because you have to help for a second on Jasmine Thomas because of her ability to score, but you slip it back through to Alyssa Thomas. That mid-range game is so good for her. Little shot put up
across the board there, Rebecca. And it was interesting talking with Kurt Miller before the game. He said, you know, ideally Alyssa's in the low 30s in minutes. Yeah, I'd be shocked if she's not near 40. When it comes to the end of this game, as a foul is called against Connecticut, and Chicago will go to the line. Breon January hit with the first one.
Breon January, such a good defender, and I think that's great position there. It's Allie Quigley who's creating the contact. That would be a play on for me, but that's going to be an interesting matchup to watch because Allie Quigley throughout the course of a game runs off a ton of screens. And Breon January is one of the best defenders off and on the ball on the perimeter.
And James Wade, the head coach for Chicago, was already planting seeds about the calls that Connecticut gets and Chicago doesn't. He had pointed out to us that over the last 5 games, just Thomas, Alyssa that is, and Bonner alone had shot more free throws than Chicago as a team. But it is Chicago who shoots the first 2, both made by Quigley. Jones, good look inside to Alyssa Thomas for the bucket.
Nice patience, too, by Brianna Jones. She sensed the double team coming, and Alyssa Thomas cut to the hoop.
Vandersloot will pop and connect from 3.
Kurt Miller was talking to us yesterday about how he is going to try to change defensive schemes on Courtney Vandersloot. Sometimes they'll go at her hard in traps, other times they won't, and they're going to have to settle to let her take some of those deep threes.
Jasmine Thomas rims out on a 3. They said, hey, if she's going to hit 4 or 5 threes, then that's probably going to be trouble for her. Parker, the deep catch, and a 3-second violation against Chicago.
You see the cut, Alyssa Thomas. As soon as the defender turns their head and you're at the free throw line, you cut to the basket. And here, Courtney Vandersloot, you have to respect her. Her vision is so good, and she can probe the paint, but she can also hit the 3.
Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, there's no great way to defend Courtney Vandersloot, and Kurt Miller of Connecticut said, you know, in years past we tried to speed her up, get her tempo going too fast, and we found out that really hurt us. She's better when she's fast. When she gets aggressive, that's bad for all of us. So they'll try several different schemes on her, but they're going to let her kind of slow down and take a tempo because they don't like when she goes fast.
Vandersloot able to thread the needle there. Parker couldn't finish. Here comes Bonner. DeWanna Bonner, a big season, her first year with Connecticut, and she hits the three. So used to seeing DeWanna Bonner do that in a slightly different hue of orange at this time of year. Oh, the quick turn. Kalia Copper on the finish. There are so many legitimate most improved player candidates this season. Copper and Parker both would be in the mix. And in any year, they could be winners. As Alyssa Thomas banks it in. This season, hard not to see Maisha Hines-Allen or Benijah Laney winning.
Yeah. Ruthie Hebert has got to know where her primary player is every time on the defensive end, because that's twice now Alyssa Thomas has been able to slip to the hoop.
Thomas, 6 points, 3 of 3 from the floor. And a kick ball is going to keep it right here. 9-9 game, 5:51 to go in the first.
Alyssa Thomas is so active in there. Hebert helps out for a second. Sloot a little bit late, and Alyssa Thomas is going to slip that and score every time. You have to be tighter on your defensive rotation.
I mean, Rebecca, just because Ruthie is a rookie, I mean, is that a matchup that Alyssa Thomas is probably salivating over?
I think so.
Vandersloot gets free for the leg.
And it's not necessarily always Ruthie either. That might be the scheme, is to help out, and then you expect a help side defender to come over and was just a beat late.
Gabby Williams, Stephanie Dolson into the game off the bench for Chicago. Thomas finds Alyssa. Alyssa gets blocked from behind, but a foul. Foul called against Chicago, and it's Gabby Williams who gets hit with the personal.
I think Alyssa Thomas salivates when any defender's on her. When she's in her groove, because Gabby Williams comes in. Gabby Williams is a terrific defender. And Alyssa Thomas still finds a way to get into paint.
Not a lot there either.
No. You're seeing it called consistently, though. If there's a little bit of contact on either end, they're going to blow the whistle right now.
And Alyssa Thomas hits the first.
You guys talk about Alyssa Thomas. She's salivating on any defender. That's because playoff AT is here. I talked to her before the game, and she said, you know, it's kind of a joke. People are always talking about playoff AT. She's so intense. She's such a bully. She's so strong. But she really does get in that mindset. She's like, I love it. I'm competitive. I want to win, and that spirit wills her team. We'll take playoff AT all day, every day for this one-and-done game.
Without question, Holly. And her performance in the finals last year was epic as Quigley lays it in off a beautiful delivery from Stephanie Dolson. We saw Alyssa Thomas last year in the finals play all but 3 minutes and 31 seconds of the 5-game series. Brianna Jones is going to get called for the charge as she barreled in, and Vandersloot took the contact. We'll step aside. Good action early in this single elimination first round game. Allie Quigley finding the bucket on a nice cut.
The WNBA Playoffs 2020 is presented by AT&T 5G and in part by Taco Bell. Order ahead and pick up your favorites at our contactless drive-thru.
Vandersloot receiving the award for leading the league in assists prior to the game. Might be some more hardware to come for her. Nice backdoor cut. Dolson found her. Vandersloot couldn't finish. Able to save it. Another chance here for Chicago.
Courtney, of all people, should know that you can't blow that kind of an assist for your teammate.
Here is Copper on a three. And the rebound taken by Connecticut. This is a single elimination first round game. Doubleheader tonight on ESPN2. Washington, Phoenix. Diana Taurasi and Skylar Diggins-Smith leading Phoenix. That one to follow this one as Bonner gets the whistle and will shoot a pair.
Number 22, first, 2-7.
You see Vandersloot reaching in there, getting called for the foul.
Did she reach in with her face, though? Like, at some point, you're just trying to keep your position and play good defense. She's smaller than Bonner, so Bonner leans in and creates contact with Sloot's face. So is that foul? Should that be on court?
That one I felt like Vandersloot was leaning in. I'm going to go against you on that one. Well, I mean, if I throw my face at you in a certain way, it can be a foul.
I suppose so.
It may not be termed a thrown face, but Quigley trying to turn the corner. Her leaner is good. Allie Quigley always so dangerous.
And Stephanie Dolson making her presence felt. She's had 2 beautiful passes to cutters going back to her. That time her screen helped Allie Quigley get room to get that shot off.
Vandersloot comes up with a steal, looking for help. Finds it on the perimeter, and Quigley. Vandersloot and Quigley have combined for 11. Alyssa Thomas and Bonner have combined for 13. That 3 off the mark from the corner from Copper. Kurt Miller said he thought they'd need 65 points combined from his starting front court. Alyssa Thomas, Joanna Bonner, and that young woman, Brianna Jones, who cans the jumper. So far, it's those 3 members who have all 15 points for Connecticut.
You're talking about some of the players who have really improved this year. Brianna Jones is another one who has made the most of her increased opportunity.
Vandersloot, you bet, on a 3.
Great job that time by both Stephanie Dolson and Courtney Vandersloot as Jasmine Thomas went behind the handoff.
Thomas bodying in, got the whistle against Dolson and will shoot 2.
So Connecticut's not trying to speed her up, so they're not trapping her. She goes behind the screen, Jasmine Thomas does, and Courtney Vandersloot. It's too easy, and this time there was a switch onto Alyssa Thomas, and then the help side defender Dolson comes over. Thomas so big and so strong when she gets the ball on the post, getting it up on the rim.
Does that remind you of the and one story that Kurt Miller told us?
Please tell it.
Well, this was great. So we were talking to Kurt Miller, Connecticut's head coach, yesterday, and he said, you know, a lot of people think our defense is called and one because they hear our players constantly yell out and one every time they go up with a shot. So he said, yeah, the idea that we're a little vocal on the offensive end asking for calls, that's probably appropriate.
And he said they even do it to each other and when they're scrimmaging in practice.
And he said, you know, sometimes he thinks it's actually to their detriment and that they get less calls because of it, because it can kind of become, you know, a calling wolf scenario. A crying wolf. I guess if you just call wolf, the wolf would come. 18-16, Chicago in front of Connecticut. Bonner, a wild toss-up, but guess what? She gets the whistle, and we'll go back to the line. So Connecticut's starting to do a good job of getting to the stripe here in this first quarter.
Did she yell and one?
I think she did. So last 5 games of the regular season, Joanna Bonner and Alyssa Thomas, as James Wade indicated to us, shot more free throws than the Chicago Sky did as a team. And that was something James Wade really emphasized. He wanted to get it out there, I think, in the media, but also get it out there to his team and say, hey, we cannot foul them. We have to defend without fouling.
Yeah, without question. And I mean, Chicago on the season averaged the fewest free throw attempts per game than any team in the WNBA, just under 15 a game. But it is going to be really important for them to stop putting Connecticut on the free throw line.
I was just going to say, you know who's not a fan of that and one that Connecticut does is James Wade. He actually said to us that the referees cannot listen to them yell or scream to get a foul. He said, I don't want them to call a foul because they hear the players react. I want them to see the foul. So that scream that sometimes Joanna Bonner does or sometimes AT does, they go into the lane. They want them to see the contact, not hear the supposed contact. He's not a fan.
Absolutely, Holly. It's a real thing because I've seen it plenty of times when I was playing. You know, somebody's not touched, but they scream at the right time to get the call.
Hebert lost it, controlled by Connecticut. Here comes Alyssa Thomas, a freight train who's agile. Alyssa Thomas finishes in transition. She has 11 first quarter points.
Kurt Miller getting some nice minutes, too, from Beatrice Montpremier. You see her right there defending the ball. She's got length, and she can be disruptive on that end of the floor.
Kyla Charles into the game as well for Connecticut, as that one drops for Prince off the bench for Chicago. Alexis Prince playing in just her third game with Chicago. They've been ravaged by injuries and have needed to just find bodies. Alyssa Thomas on the putback. 13 first quarter points for AT.
And all of the minutes that the coaches on for both teams can buy their starters rest around the TV timeouts are important.
Here is Copper, the hesitation, the drive, couldn't flip it in. And the rebound taken by Connecticut and Beatrice Montpremier. About a 4-second difference, game and shot clock. Been a tightly contested opening quarter, single elimination first round. One of these teams goes home tonight. Nice find from Alyssa Thomas, but then the rejection on the interior from Chicago. Gabby Williams with 2 seconds left in the quarter. Dolson off the mark, and that will do it for the first. Outstanding action, a one-point game, and big-time play from AT.
We like to see the facilitating forward, taking it the other way. Alyssa Thomas, little stutter step, score.
Welcome back here with Connecticut Sun's DeWanna Bonner. And even saying that sounds weird at this point. You've never been in the playoffs with the Connecticut Sun. How did you think that first quarter went playing with and off of your teammates?
It's playoff basketball. I think both teams are hitting shots and competing really hard. We're still in there. We're up 1, so that's a good feeling. But we got to get some stops. Quigley and Vandersloot are killing us right now, so we got to get some stops.
What do you change there defensively?
I think we just got to stop the ball when Courtney comes off. I think we should just come to the rim. And Quigley, that's a tough guard. I think Bree's doing a great job. But if we could keep them hitting those same tough shots, we're all right.
Thank you, DB.
Well, the Connecticut Sun, a 4-point lead on Chicago. 9:25 to go in this second quarter. Here is Parker, deep catch, surrounded, harassed, and that is going to be a jump.
James Wade told us yesterday that a focal point for Chicago was going to be playing through Cheyenne Parker. We've seen that. We saw it early in the game when she was in. They are looking to get her touches inside, and that last possession, Connecticut surrounded her with 4 defenders.
James Wade, last year's Coach of the Year, done an outstanding job with the Chicago Sky. Has had a much different hand dealt him than it seems like he was going to at the beginning of the season. Diamond and Shields was really never healthy as Gabby Williams checks back in. And Azure Stevens, breakout year, then eventually went down to injury. Those are 2 huge factors that Chicago is without. But James Wade said he feels really good about his team going into this game, as Chicago is called for the shot clock violation despite winning the tip there.
And one of the reasons he can feel good about the team is Gabby Williams. As different players have gotten injured. Already in this game, Ryan, she's come in for Ruthie Hebert and played the post. She has played the point guard position when Sloot was out for a very short stretch, and now she's in as a wing.
He said, Gabby Williams is one of the reasons I can sleep at night. She's just dependable. Alyssa Thomas hooks a pass inside. How about Charles from 3? No. And the rebound dug up by Vandersloot. Vandersloot, no look underneath, and Hebert lays it in.
Beautiful pass by Courtney Vandersloot. Everyone looking to the right except for Ruthie Hebert running the left side.
Ruthie Hebert, 68% from the floor. Top number in the WNBA this season. Here's Charles. Charles bodies in and finishes. Plus the foul. You can hear the scream of and 1, and she gets a chance for it.
What a bright spot for the Connecticut Sun this season. Charles drafted in the second round. It didn't look like she was going to be on the roster, and then some players not able to be in Bradenton, and has played really well on both ends of the floor for Connecticut.
Kyla Charles, the 23rd pick of this past year's draft. 6th all-time at Maryland in points. Kurt Miller's really liked the defense, especially she has brought in her minutes she's played for the Sun. 28-23, Connecticut in front, and a whistle. And I believe that's Alyssa Thomas, and if it is going to be number 2 on her. And it is number 2 on Alyssa Thomas.
Well, the one thing that we saw quite a bit in the playoffs last year is Alyssa Thomas on the floor. Even when she has a little bit of foul trouble, she knows how to be smart and play through it.
Let's take a look at the upcoming WNBA playoff schedule. Coming up next, Washington against Phoenix in a single elimination game. That'll be following this game here on ESPN2. And then Thursday, Minnesota and LA await the winners of tonight's game. Those will be at 7 and 9 as well. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com and visit the WNBA app.
Let's remind everyone, what's Diana Taurasi's record in single elimination games?
13-1. Nice D there from Hebert, and it will stay here with Connecticut. I mean, Rebecca, it's trippy seeing DeWanna Bonner. When you just see the front of the uniform in a playoff game right now in that orange, it feels that we're talking about Diana Taurasi. It feels like Phoenix is all of a sudden on the floor in this first game. Here is January. Plenty of postseason experience for her. Thomas threw it to herself. And a shot clock violation against the Connecticut Sun. That'll be their 3rd turnover of this first half. Pretty cleanly played opening half thus far between these two teams. One of the big differences, Rebecca, when you look at the 2 regular season matchups that these teams had, was the free throw line. And that was a concern of James Wade. So far, Connecticut 8 of 9 from the line, Chicago 4 of 4. Parker from 3, no. Bonner the box out, looking to push. Bonner, a clean look from deep. She got it on a 3.
Courtney Vandersloot frustrated. Multiple Chicago defenders were looking at each other, waiting for someone to run out to Bonner, but no one went.
Bonner now with 10 points, joining Alyssa Thomas in double figures. Quigley, no space, somehow found Hebert. 7 to shoot. Vandersloot, and it's going to be a violation against Chicago as they turn it over.
Courtney Vandersloot yelling, like, who's going to go out on DeWanna Bonner? At that point, it doesn't matter who you're guarding. You've got to get out there and get a hand up.
One of the things that James Wade talked about was Courtney Vandersloot's vocal leadership really taking a big stride this season. That layup goes in. How about the minutes thus far for the rookie Kyla Charles?
She's been really good, and especially without Maria Holmes, who left Bradenton because of a knee injury. That is Holmes' role, is to get the ball and tap the basket.
Needed bucket there for Chicago, and Quigley provides it. Allie Quigley now 3 of 3 from the floor, 8 points, the 3-time All-Star. And that is going to be a carry on Kyla Charles, who turns it over. Not a call you always see.
Call you almost never see.
That's right. But you know, basketball coaches, when they see that called, I mean, especially camp counselors, they get downright giddy. Dolson, such a good passer. Finds Copper on the turnaround. How about the improvement this year from Kalia Copper?
She's just playing with a lot of confidence, and we've seen her do an array of things on the offensive end of the floor. Nice, tough finish on the post move.
That's thrown out of bounds. Connecticut turns it over. We'll step aside. 5:59 to go in the second. A 4-point Connecticut lead. Stephanie Dolson been working the interior, finding Copper for the bucket.
not anything. We've got to protect the paint. We've got to stay in front of them and compete here. All right, compete.
Well, Rebecca, I mean, that's very similar to Kurt Miller's conversation with us, talking to us about how he had felt incredibly comfortable going into this game with the defensive side of the ball. Offense, some concerns, but a lot of comfort with the way they've been playing defensively.
Yeah, he said their offense sometimes can be chunky, was the word that he used, but that their defense has been really good. As you see, Connecticut force a turnover there, so that's why you hear him talking in the huddle about the defensive side.
Let's bring in Holly.
Well, guys, I was just listening into his last huddle with his team, and he challenged them defensively. He said, Kalia Copper is hurting us right now. I need somebody who's going to go out and step up and compete with her. He is constantly chirping at them, harping on them to be tough defensively and to challenge them to compete.
He has now Kyla Charles as the defender on Copper. Brings a little bit of size and good athleticism.
Nice look. Gabby Williams squeezes it in to Ruthie Hebert. Second bucket of the game for the rookie from Oregon. Thomas backs in, kicks out. And a traveling violation called against Kyla Charles. Sixth turnover for Connecticut, their fourth of the quarter.
Would you call the last two offensive possessions for Connecticut chunky?
I think they felt a little chunky.
A little chunky.
One of them bear fruit, though. 4-point Connecticut lead. A reminder, this is a single elimination first-round playoff game. Hebert puts it on the deck, can't finish. Bonner the rebound. 4 rebounds, 10 points for DeWanna Bonner. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists for Alyssa Thomas. Thomas barrels in, can't finesse it home. Another chance? No, but a foul. And Alyssa Thomas will shoot 2.
And continuing to pick on that matchup. They give it to Alyssa Thomas. Everybody else is on the right side of the floor. She gets the clear out, and just her relentless nature gets her to the free throw line. And much like the 2 matchups in the regular season, the free throw line continues to be the differentiating factor in the score of this game.
Connecticut right now +4 at the line. They're +4 on the scoreboard. Thomas hits the first thing. Coming up next, more of the first round WNBA playoffs as the Mystics take on Diana Taurasi, Skylar Diggins-Smith, and the Mercury. That'll be following the conclusion of this game right here on ESPN2.
I'm so excited to watch Taurasi and Skylar Diggins-Smith in that one. Those two have been absolutely on fire the second half of this WNBA season in terms of their point production and their production from 3.
6-point Connecticut lead. Alyssa Thomas now with 15 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Here is Copper storming into the lane, finding some space. Just couldn't finish. Now Bonner. Bonner. Jackknife leaner banks in for DeWanna Bonner.
She often has the funkiest looking shots still fall for her.
Courtney Vandersloot can't wedge it in. Bonner's 6th rebound. Here she comes. Bonner gives it up. Into Jones. One-on-one with Parker. Denied by Parker. Nicely done from Cheyenne Parker. That's going to be a long 2, but good for Courtney Vandersloot.
Connecticut is looking to take the pass away from Courtney Vandersloot, and they are giving up some shots. They would much rather give up that long 2, though, than the 3 she was getting early.
10 points for Vandersloot. Here is Bonner, guarded by Williams. Try to get it to Alyssa Thomas on the slip. January will fire. No. And it tilts out of bounds to Chicago. Timeout on the floor. 2:43 to go in the first half. Single elimination first round. Connecticut by 6. Beats What a start for Alyssa Thomas.
Beats for the beast. Alyssa Thomas has been absolutely terrific on the offensive end of the floor and the defensive for that matter. 15 points already. She is constant energy in motion, getting the ball in transition, cutting when she doesn't have the ball, attacking the rim when she does. This is the player that we saw lead her team to the WNBA Finals a season ago.
Alyssa Thomas has tied a playoff high for a half in her career. For more on AT, let's check in with Holly.
Well, when you look at that highlight package, as we see her absorb a little contact right here, you'll notice that most of her shots are kind of underhanded scoop shots. Nothing up and over her head like a pure jump shoot. That's why, because she's playing with two partially torn labrums, one in each shoulder. I've talked to her about it, and she said, you know, I just don't ever want to take time off to have that surgery to get those repaired. She's found a way around it, but can you imagine a basketball player at this level not able to really put her arm up and over in her shoulder? She's found a way to accommodate that.
It is incredible as January misses the three. Rebound, flagged down by Alyssa Thomas. Because not only is she just managing to play, she somehow excelled and got better and better each year, even as she's dealt with these injuries.
Not only the injuries, but she doesn't have really an offensive, she doesn't have a shot outside of 15 feet. And she still is ridiculously efficient and effective on the offensive end of the floor.
That jumper won't go. Bonner another rebound. The outlet to Thomas. It wasn't a good one. And Thomas eventually coughed it up. Here comes Copper. Her pull-up won't go. Parker keeps it alive. Cheyenne Parker dips it in.
Really nice job splitting two defenders and able to finish inside. The two regular season meetings, Cheyenne Parker averaged 18.5 points a game, did not miss a free throw.
Jones missed, kicks it out. Good scoop up by Jasmine Thomas. Missed the three badly. And Jasmine Thomas yet to score in this game.
Just staying active. Cheyenne Parker gets the boards, got a little on her, but then the big comes over to help and is just patient, takes her time, and splits through. She's got a lot of skill. Cheyenne Parker's a big body who can score inside, but she can also step out and shoot threes. She can drive by you. Just scratching the surface of her potential.
James Wade said he's not surprised at all by the improvement this season. She has really put in time to player development, as has the Chicago staff. As that three drops for Gabby Williams, and it is a one-point game. Timeout, Connecticut. Good work at the end of this second from Chicago to make it a one-point game.
Always a bonus when Gabby Williams can hit the three. The defense gambles, leaves her, making them pay.
NBA players playing like it. Alyssa Thomas, 17-7-3, a playoff career high for any half. Courtney Vandersloot, 10-3-3. For more on this matchup, let's check in with Holly Rowe inside the bubble.
Well, you see those big performances from the two stars, DeWanna Bonner and Alyssa Thomas, and they need their third. But I can't believe she just hit that shot, because I'm doing a report about how Jasmine Thomas has to get going. She's been limited with plantar fasciitis. If anyone's had it, you know how painful that is. But she did not score in that first half, 0 for 4. That is a huge sign for Connecticut. They've got to get Jazz Thomas going. I love it when she knows what we're going to talk about.
Holly, I'm sure Kurt Miller appreciates the report as well.
Jasmine Thomas, the two regular season games against Chicago, 18.5 points a game, 7 of 13 from three.
How about January? Brianna Jones there for the cleanup. And it's been a big season for Brianna Jones in her fourth year out of Maryland.
Getting a lot of minutes because Jonquel Jones decided not to play this season. She has been reliable for Connecticut the past few years, but just hasn't gotten the time on the floor.
Chicago turns it over. Here was Jones with the positioning and the easy putback. Need a better effort there on the interior from Chicago's rebounding, no?
Yeah, that was a pretty easy offensive board and putback, that's for sure.
Wow.
Connecticut, a very good offensive rebounding team. The Chicago Sky players were talking about that was an area of focus the past couple days in practice.
How about Connecticut? Oh, Brianne January just blew the bunny there. Otherwise, you're going to have a 7-0 blitz right out of the gates here in the third. Vandersloot looking to get it to Parker. She was pushed by Alyssa Thomas. Foul was not called, and I think there's legitimate beef here.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yeah. And Cheyenne Parker saying, hey, come on now. And would have been significant, too, because it would have been number 3 on AT. Instead, Thomas gets away with it. Knocked out of bounds there by Parker. Parker will check out early here in this third quarter. Stephanie Dolson in for Cheyenne Parker. What do you make of that, Rebecca?
Well, that's where a player is going to be frustrated, too, because on the other end of the floor, she was fouled, and that's the reason she had the turnover. But when we saw early Brown and Jones get the offensive rebound, that was Parker's missed assignment. So I think you saw 3 plays in a row that James Wade was not happy.
Cheyenne Parker will get a breather here as James Wade resets with Stephanie Dolson. Foul called against Kalia Copper.
On the floor right now, we have a common foul on Copper. We're going to review to see if it's a flagrant foul.
All right, so Eric Bruton lets us know. And they will see whether or not this is more than a common foul. They're seeing whether or not this is a flagrant foul. Remember, flagrant is contact that is deemed unnecessary, would be the criteria met for a flagrant one. And that, what do you think, Rebecca? That could be deemed unnecessary.
I think it probably will be. It's not like an offensive player who has a swim move to try to get through the defense. That's simply extending your arm, pushing the defender off of you. A little hug first.
One of some of the different things they look at when looking for a flagrant one is it part of a natural basketball play? Is there a wind-up and follow-through? A potential for injury or actual injury? Intent isn't something they look at.
I wouldn't say that was necessarily a basketball play.
At this time, we have a common foul on Copper, but we also have an away from the play foul. So anybody will shoot, and then we'll put the ball back at the point of interruption.
Interesting.
Yes. So it is just a common foul, but because it took place prior to the inbound, it is ruled an away from the play foul, which means the foul team, in this case Chicago, can select who they want to shoot. Excuse me, Connecticut can select who they want to shoot the free throw. And so it's Bonner who they want to shoot it. She hits. And now Connecticut retains possession. So in the course of the review, although they were looking for a flagrant foul, they were able to determine that it was, in fact, an away from the play foul, meaning the foul occurred before the ball was inbound. We get that all right, Rebecca?
I think we got it.
Good?
We're good.
All right. Onward. Stephanie Dolson lays it in. Nice seal inside from Dolson in the first bucket of the second half for Chicago.
Immediate impact. Stephanie Dolson uses her size so well. You saw it there on a post-up. You'll often see it as a screener as well.
Bonner can't hit. Jones inside. Doing work. Brianna Jones feasting on the glass. Gabby Williams. And Connecticut a strong start to this third quarter. It was tied at the half. Connecticut leads by 6 right now. Single elimination. First round game. Thomas, good look to the corner for Jasmine on a 3. And Jasmine Thomas, who was scoreless in the first half, has hit 2 threes here in the third.
So what do we see in the third quarter? Now Chicago bringing a double team to Alyssa Thomas, but she found Jasmine open, and then she creates that turnover.
9-point Connecticut lead. Their largest of the game. January wanted it, got it late. January's jumper is good. First double-digit lead for either team tonight. And Chicago will take a timeout. What a start to this second half for Connecticut. A 13-2 run to begin the third.
Connecticut's getting it done on the defensive end of the floor, and then offensively, just a beautiful job. Patience, delivery, finish by the two Thomases. And then Breon January getting in on the action as well.
They all said, pick it up. They know they're not playing hard enough and putting pressure on Connecticut right now.
And not driving it all the way into the lane, but still getting to the free throw line, Allie Quigley. And this is just a quarter that's been dominated by Connecticut. And you heard James Wade, too, talking about effort in the wired package. Connecticut has 8 offensive rebounds, 12 second chance points. It's a team that leads the WNBA in offensive rebounds per game.
Connecticut leads the league in second chance points as well, averaging 13.5. But that's something Chicago's usually pretty good at thwarting. They were third in opponents' second chance points this season. Here is Jasmine Thomas. Pass knocked out of bounds. Good activity there from Chicago. James Wade has had to deal with a much different roster than he thought he was going to. We mentioned earlier, but worth repeating. This was a team who many thought could go to the finals this season after the year they had last year, but Diamond DeShields was never healthy, eventually so banged up that she had to leave the bubble. And Azurá Stevens, who was having a tremendous season, got injured, had to leave the bubble. Chicago has really had to fight through it here down the stretch as Bonner gets fouled there. And Connecticut, as you detailed in the open, Rebecca, I mean, they have a totally reconstructed roster. No more Courtney Williams, no Jonquel Jones this year as she sat out. Shakina Strickland, who was a big part of their starting lineup, not there. A lot of changes abound as we check in with Holly.
Well, Diamond DeShields was so sad to have to leave the bubble. I did an interview with her the day before she left, and she actually started crying and said, I just wish I could be here for my team and what could be special for us this season. She just tweeted out moments ago, I wish I could play so bad. She's dying at home watching this game right now. Shout out to you, Diamond. I know your teammates wish you were here, and Azurá Stevens as well.
Well, and Holly, she was tremendous in the playoffs a season ago, Diamond DeShields. Just shine. And looked like, and I believe the woman to my left said it, a future MVP candidate.
Yeah, I mean, she is loaded with talent.
9-point game, opportunity for Chicago, and Vandersloot takes advantage, hitting the jumper. 12 points for Courtney Vandersloot to go with 3 assists and 3 rebounds. Jasmine Thomas jumper, rims out. Alyssa Thomas the board. Jasmine, meanwhile, with 8 points in the third after going scoreless in the first half. Vandersloot, a quick pedal up the floor. Copper draws 2. Williams gets the defense shuffling. 5-on-4 for the moment. Williams can't take advantage. Good effort by Copper, but tapped out of bounds. It's Connecticut ball.
Copper been really active the last few possessions. We saw her get a score. She was really good early for Chicago as well on the offensive end.
56-49, Connecticut in front of Chicago. Gabby Williams in this game, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Alyssa Thomas, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. 13 and 8 for DeWanna Bonner. Brianna Jones lost it. Into the arms of Williams, the nifty crossover. 4-on-3, Quigley in and out on a 3. And January, the rebound would have been big for Chicago.
overall, Connecticut's done a good job of slowing Chicago down, not letting them get their early offense. For the last few possessions, Chicago's gotten good looks in transition.
Nice delivery. Jasmine Thomas, the perfect touch to Alyssa.
Different Jasmine Thomas here in the second half, and then we saw in the first, she's hitting threes, scoring on post-ups in there with a beautiful delivery.
That plantar fascia looks all better. Gabby Williams rejected by Bonner. 9-point Connecticut lead, single elimination first round playoff game. One of these teams' season ends tonight. Bonner, the step through, had it poked away, trying to flag it down. Does. 9 to shoot. Nice look inside. Brianna Jones doing work to get position on the interior.
Yeah, great job to hold her seal there.
Vandersloot fouled on the drive, and Bonner gets called for it.
It looked like DeWanna Bonner was going to be stuck in the corner. Not a lot of teammates moving or cutting. Brianna Jones, just with a little step, gets Dolson on the high side, holds the seal, and finishes.
Second assist for Bonner. Jones now with 8 points. Kurt Miller told us he needed 65 from Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, and Brianna Jones combined if Connecticut was going to win. Doing pretty well at 40 thus far. Hey, open the WNBA app now to tap to cheer for your team. Fans already have 372,303 total taps for this Sun Sky game. At the end of the game, you can tap to pick your MVP of the matchup and see if other fans agree with your standout player of the game.
Come on, Sun and Sky fans. We had over 1 million in our game this past weekend.
Kyla Charles, nice delivery. Alyssa Thomas couldn't finish, did save it. Here comes Chicago. And a foul taken in transition by Jasmine Thomas. That'll be the third team foul against Connecticut in this third quarter.
And a smart foul, though, to stop the transition basket. And we talked about it, how good Chicago is when they can get going in transition here. Veteran, all right, I'll just take the foul. We're not in the bonus yet. Let them inbound and get the defense set.
Watch the 3 seconds. Watch the 3 seconds.
Cheyenne Parker back in the game, working hard, trying to get position inside. Montpelier with the hold.
11-point Connecticut lead, 3:08 to go in the third. And a kick ball will keep things right here for Chicago.
Kurt Miller still only playing 7 players, buying DeWanna Bonner a little bit of time on the bench right now. Charles in, Montpelier in. That's as deep as he's gone.
Prince into the game for Chicago. Just her third game with the team. Williams fending off, fighting, and finishing. Gabby Williams, Miss Dependable, according to James Wade. 8 points tonight. How about Charles? She has not looked like a rookie at all in this game. 9 points off the bench.
Miller raves about how hard she works every single day, not just in games, but in practices as well. One of those players who's constantly playing at her highest level, going as hard as she can here. No fear. Little handoff, sees that she has the big on her, no problem. Take it inside for the pull-up jumper.
You know, Kurt Miller told a great story about Kyla Charles from training camp, and he said her defense was so physical, so consistent, so ferocious, that DeWanna Bonner was begging him to have someone else cover her during camp because she was getting so frustrated and exhausted being guarded by Kyla Charles day in, day out.
Yeah, usually players have that wink and nod. I'll guard you soft, you guard me soft. We both need to take it easy once you get into that second week of training camp. Not for the rookie.
And DeWanna Bonner's like, yep, I needed that rest that I'm getting right now. 10-point game. 2:15 to go. Alyssa Thomas barreling in, got hit. Ruthie Hebert called for the foul. And Alyssa Thomas a chance to add to her already impressive ledger.
And you see it again. Alyssa Thomas gets the ball with Hebert guarding her. Her teammates clear out that side of the floor, and she just goes one-on-one.
Alyssa Thomas, 19 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. And a 20-point game for Alyssa Thomas. Hey, let's take a look at the upcoming WNBA playoff schedule. Coming up next on ESPN2, Washington and Phoenix, a single elimination game. The winners will play Thursday night against Minnesota and LA. Higher seed faces Minnesota, lower seed faces LA. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. We will have every single playoff game on the ESPN family of networks. Stay locked with us for the next 3.5, 4 weeks. Cooper lost it. Good D from Alyssa Thomas. January kicks to Heidemann. Her jumper is good. First minute, first bucket for Natisha Heidemann.
How about Natisha Heidemann? That's her first touch of the game and still drains it.
The lead has swelled to 14 for Connecticut. Williams, out of bounds, off of Copper, out of Chicago. Regains some poise here, Rebecca, after more of this from Connecticut.
Yeah, one more player. Now Kurt Miller's gone 8 deep in this game. And Natisha Heidemann, we saw her have some really big moments in the playoffs and in the finals last year for Connecticut, making her presence felt.
How about it, Rebecca? Where does Chicago turn to try and steady things?
First, they got to get things done on the defensive end of the floor. In particular, not just the initial stop. They got to get to the defensive boards.
That time they do as Parker flags it down. She struggled on the glass early, and James Wade subs her out early in the third as Vandersloot turns it over. Mom Premier there for the steal. Big third quarter for Connecticut. This was a 41-all game at the half. Seven to shoot. January dips in for 2. A 16-point Connecticut lead. And a delay of game warning against Connecticut.
Allie Quigley, only 4 field goal attempts in this game. This is a player we're used to seeing running off a bunch of screens, getting shots up. Connecticut's done a really nice job on her defensively.
Great point, Rebecca. Pressuring her here. 2-for-1 opportunity for Chicago. Williams can't hit. Air ball. Mom Premier the rebound. And a slight differential game in shot clock. Maybe about a second and a half. Heidemann is fouled, and Chicago did have a foul to give, so 8.3 seconds left to operate.
Miller putting Bonner in just for the last offensive set.
.3 left in the third. Lubunga in for Chicago. 5 seconds left. Bonner with 2 seconds. Bonner will hoist. No. And that'll do it for the third, but what productivity from the Connecticut Sun in this third quarter. They outscore Chicago.
Really hone in on our goals defensively and try to get stops.
What are some of the things you're talking about getting the offensive flow better right now, particularly Allie Quigley, your leading scorer?
I think that it's easier for us to get into our offensive flow when we get stops and when we're going in transition and getting easy buckets. So we just got to get stops and we'll get easy buckets like that.
Great point. Thank you so much.
Well, Chicago definitely could use the stops and easy buckets. Rebecca, you made the point Chicago normally is such a good transition team. They have not had those opportunities tonight.
Yeah, Connecticut's done a really good job getting back, not turning the basketball over. When you look at the numbers in that third quarter as DeWanna Bonner gets to the free throw line as well, Chicago took 13 field goals attempts in that third quarter, and Gabby Williams took 7 of them. If you're Connecticut, you're thrilled with that shot distribution.
27-11, Connecticut outscored Chicago in that third.
Not enough to tell.
And Bonner back to the line. She now has 14 points, 8 rebounds. She's 6 of 6 from the line. Connecticut is 14 of 15. Bonner hits both. Well, this game was so tightly played in the first half. A 1-point game after one quarter. Tied at the half. But now it has been all Connecticut thus far in the second half. An 18-point lead. Parker squeezes between 2 and gets the whistle. Cheyenne Parker will go to the line, and if that's Alyssa Thomas, that'll be her 4th.
Connecticut's really made the life difficult for the bigs of Chicago. Cheyenne Parker, Ruthie Hebert have a combined 8 points in this game. Defense has swarmed them when they've gotten touches.
And the fouls on Mom Premier. So still just 3 on Thomas. We talked about Rebecca off the open. It was going to be about who could make more of an impact, the backcourt of Chicago or the front court of Connecticut. Backcourt of Chicago has been good, but the front court of Connecticut has had more opportunities and been better.
And the front court of Connecticut is different from most front courts. You know, both players who can create their own shot, both players who can handle, who can get out in transition. And we saw from the jump, Alyssa Thomas has, you know, imposed her will on this basketball game.
70-54, Connecticut leads Chicago. Charles flips it up, no. Thomas nearly got it the first time, can't get it the second. How about a third try? Will it come her way? It may. She comes up with a loose ball. Feeds Heidemann. Heidemann can't get it to drop, but gets the whistle. And what effort there from Alyssa Thomas in Connecticut to extend the possession.
Connecticut relentless on this possession. Alyssa Thomas keeps it alive. Then Ma Premier gets a tip so that Connecticut can eventually get the basketball. But this is Alyssa Thomas right here in a nutshell. Just so active. She doesn't end up scoring or on the line, but man, her fingerprints were all over that possession.
That possession feel like the playoffs to you, Rebecca?
That felt like the playoffs to me.
The only thing that doesn't feel like the playoffs is, you know, I don't have snacks for you to reach over and grab. In the COVID days, sharing snacks a big no-no.
I thought you were going to say like the lack of crowd noise, but we went back to the snacks.
Right. The lack of snacks definitely much more alarming than the lack of crowd. 70-54, Connecticut in front. A reminder about the playoff format. Tonight we have a doubleheader, 2 single elimination first round games. Thursday, 2 single elimination second round games. Then the semifinals start on Sunday on ABC. Vegas and Seattle await the eventual winners of the second round games. And that will be the start of a best-of-5 series as Quigley gets just her second field goal attempt in this second half. And Allie Quigley, with that bucket, becomes Chicago's all-time leading playoff scorer. Jumping in front of Elena Deladon. Good hands by Parker. And now Copper on the steal. Copper in transition lays it in, and those are the easy buckets Copper was talking about with Hollis.
And this is how Chicago can get back into the ball game. Force turnovers, get to the defensive glass, push the pace.
Eight to shoot. Charles gives it up. Jones. Bonner skies into the rebound. Another offensive rebound for Connecticut, and is that going to be a jump or a foul? That's going to be a foul against Cheyenne Parker. And that will be the 3rd team foul against Chicago in this fourth.
Connecticut's outworking Chicago. Especially here in the beginning of this fourth quarter. Connecticut is simply outworking Chicago.
Connecticut is a plus 16 on the glass. Connecticut's shooting 44%, Chicago 45.5. It's just that rebounding difference in the free throw line as Thomas banks it in, plus the foul.
All right there, if you're Connecticut, you're feeling pretty good, because watch, not only do you see Alyssa Thomas score, but what happens afterwards? Cheyenne Parker looks at her teammate yelling in frustration. When you are the offensive team, you're feeling good right now. I've got them. They're yelling at each other. I got them.
Thomas completes the three-point play. Alyssa Thomas now with 22 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. Quigley gets bumped, and a foul. Be a side out of bounds. By the way, I'm just going to say, I think Alyssa Thomas may be missing a free throw when it comes to her point total. We'll see. It could be a 1-point discretion there. Either way.
You're saying because our stats say 6 for 7, you think she's 7 for 8? 7%?
I think at one point she had 19 points. She hit a free throw, and then that made it 20, and then she just had a 3-point play. That's what I think. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Either way, what productivity as Jones shaken up after that contact. Let's check in with Holly.
Ryan, I keep my own scorebook, and I have her for 23 points as well. I just wanted to confirm that. But who I have missing some things is Courtney Vandersloot. Just 3 assists. I wonder what you guys think about our assist leader that we pumped up before the game. Just 3 assists so far for the Chicago Sky.
Well, in order to get assists, your teammates have to make the shots. That's the first thing. She has made some passes, and the shots haven't gone in. But the second thing, that's part of what Connecticut was going to do defensively to her. You know, they weren't going to trap her. They weren't going to try to get the ball out of her hands to make her a passer because she's so deadly there. They were willing to give up the shots early instead, Hop. And she keeps her own score.
Well,
How about that?
I feel good. I feel like, all right, we have 2 members of Team 23 points, and we'll see if we're right or not.
I'll be on that team.
Okay, 3.
I don't keep my own scorebook, but I'll be on your team.
LaChina raises her hand. We have 4. Now they're still saying 22. Either way, 22 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists for Alyssa Thomas. As Copper goes to the line. This is the first. Leah Copper, 11 points in this game. The playoff AT has been a monster. And as you point out, Rebecca, the defense from Connecticut has been good against Vandersloot and Quigley to limit those all-stars. Both free throws missed by Copper. Hard to afford that at this juncture if you're Chicago. Winner advances to the second round to face Minnesota or LA. Thomas, another bucket. 24 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists for Alyssa Thomas.
Miscommunication by Chicago on the back screen, and Alyssa Thomas read it the whole way.
And a steal now for Connecticut. The sun starting to sniff the second round.
What's it smell like, Ryan?
Raspberries and pomegranate. Jasmine Thomas. Looked like it might have been late. Good effort by Bonner, and a foul on the loose ball called against Chicago. They are now over the limit. Free throws for Connecticut. How about Alyssa Thomas? A monster first round.
The WNBA Playoffs 2020 is presented by AT&T 5G. And
Defensive rebounds tonight. Picking up right where she left off in the finals a season ago.
I mean, just relentless. She's been the most active, most energetic player from the start of this game to now. All over the glass, attacking the rim, finding open teammates.
Rebecca, what does it do when you have a player like that who you can quite visibly see their will being imparted in a game like this if you're on her team.
Yeah, it's certainly infectious, contagious. You know, you want to match that when it's your leader, and the thing with Alyssa Thomas, she's like that all the time. Ryan, we saw it last year in the WNBA Finals. I think it was maybe before Game 5 at the shoot-around or the practice the day before the game, and some of the players wanted to go half speed, and she's like, no, we're going to go full speed in the game. We're going to go full now. That's just who she is.
Williams, nifty finish plus the foul. And a chance for 3 for Gabby Williams.
Gabby doing a really nice job attacking the glass. Gets by Alyssa Thomas and gets around DeWanna Bonner. Did she yell and one on that one? I don't think so.
She could have.
She could have. We didn't see it. We didn't hear it.
17-point game. Good hands by Vandersloot. And William Vandersloot thought that might have lasted Jasmine Thomas. Let's see. She had a legitimate case. Now, we are not inside of the final 2 minutes, so that cannot be reviewed. The WNBA does not have the challenge system the NBA has. At least not yet. Jasmine Thomas can't finish. Brianna Jones can. 15th offensive rebound for the Connecticut Sun tonight.
Just absolutely relentless on the offensive glass.
Copper surrounded. Williams, the leaner. Bonner, her 11th board to go with 17 points. Connecticut, a plus 19 on the glass in this game. Alyssa Thomas floats it out. 19-4 advantage and second chance points for Connecticut as Vandersloot comes away with it. Chicago's season on the brink. 4:30 to go. 19-point game. Copper a 3 is good. And remember, even though the deficit is mighty, Chicago has been the author of some pretty impressive late game comebacks. January around the hedge from Williams. Left alone. Can't hit. There's the stop from Chicago. Now they need a score. Parker thought about it, got crushed by January. And that's going to mean free throws with Connecticut now over the limit.
And this is the time where Chicago really has to make their push. You're looking for threes. You want to get to the free throw line if you can, because that's scoring while the clock is stopped. It's like quite a head fake right there when you get the guard in the air that long. And the thing with Connecticut the last time down the floor offensively, yeah, you want to use clock, you want to use shot clock, but everybody was standing around and watching.
The WNBA playoffs continue Thursday with both single elimination second round games on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. You'll reseed the winning teams from tonight, and the higher seed will take on the Lynx at 7 Eastern. Then the Sparks will square off against the lower seed. It's win or go home starting on Thursday at 7 Eastern.
Pam and LaChina can't share snacks either. What a luxury.
Alyssa Thomas all the way in.
Get it back to the inbounder, who's your 4 player, and just let her bring the ball up the floor.
26 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists for AT as Williams lays that in, plus the foul, and a chance for 3 for Gabby Williams.
See, Gabby Williams is going to be so good when she attacks the rim. If you're Brianna Jones, just either get her good where she can't finish or just let her go all the way in.
A reminder that at the end of this game, we have more basketball. We have Diana Taurasi in a single elimination game. No reason to go anywhere. It's Phoenix and Washington. Maisha Hines-Allen has been incredible for the Mystics this year. Ariel Atkins as well. January can't scoop it in. Jones the offensive rebound, and she is fouled. And that is a missed opportunity from Chicago after that initial stop. You keep talking about it, partner. They are not able to secure the defensive rebound.
I mean, Connecticut just continues to be relentless, especially here in the second half. It seems like they've gotten tips or corralled the offensive board almost on every miss.
Well, they had 6 offensive rebounds in the first half. I believe they have 12 here in the second half.
Sure looked that way.
And Jones hits the first free throw.
Interesting to not have Allie Quigley in the game for Chicago. She, you know, typically such an offensive threat for them.
3-time All-Star. Williams connects. She has been calling her number a lot in the second half, but successfully the last couple of possessions.
Yeah, she was 1 for 7 in that third quarter, but much better here in the fourth.
Alyssa Thomas after a nifty evasion from the Chicago press. Watches her team take a timeout of 13 with 3 minutes to go. There's Twins catching the action. Aw, I mean, just adorable. And then Bonner trying to get to the rim, couldn't finish. Here comes Chicago, still with a little bit of life here. Gabby Williams is trying to be doing it all herself, and last few possessions has been successful as Copper hits the 3. Don't go away yet. It's a 10-point game. Alyssa Thomas breaks the press, dishes, Charles lays it in.
Again, the luxury of having your 4th player being the one who can handle the ball end-to-end against the full-court pressure.
7 assists now for Alyssa Thomas to go with 26 points, 12 rebounds. Cheryl Swoop's the only player in WNBA history with a playoff triple-double. Here comes Vandersloot. Vandersloot can't pop it in. Williams the rebound, has Parker there to tee it up. Copper, no. Quigley, yes. On a 3, it's a single-digit game. And Kurt Miller needs another timeout. Suddenly, things are tightening in Bradenton. From down 8, and again, Brianna Jones a factor. January gives it up. Alyssa Thomas finds Bonner for the reverse and maybe the dagger.
Those two have been so important for Connecticut's son here. It's only fitting that they connect for that shot.
Quigley puts it up and hits the jumper. Well, you wonder if Chicago is going to regret not finding ways to get Quigley more shots in this game. She's 6 of 7.
Foul, Alyssa Thomas.
Thomas can't hit. Shot it early as well. Not a good decision there from Connecticut. Chance for Chicago. Quigley, not that time. The rebound secured by Bonner, and she is fouled.
And if you're going to play the foul game, I know Alyssa Thomas has been shooting the free throws well lately, but if you're going to roll the dice with a player at the free throw line as a defensive team, it's Alyssa Thomas, because she has had struggles throughout her career converting from the free throw line.
In her career, 62%, to your point. Bonner, meanwhile, 86%. But again, Rebecca, Chicago had a little momentum there. Obviously, it was going to take a remarkable comeback, but the offensive rebound from Connecticut would just been the story in this game. A 23-7 advantage in second chance points for Connecticut. Bonner hits both. And Chicago takes a timeout. 21 points, 11 rebounds for Bonner. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. Be right back with the conclusion.
One day.
The timeouts for Allie Quigley. You got to play the 3-for-2 game right now because you don't have any timeouts left.
Vandersloot letting it develop. Quigley got some space. Her 2 is good. Allie Quigley now 7 of 9 from the floor. Kyla Charles gets the inbound. It is fouled. And Kyla Charles, who shot it at 71% from the line this season, will go to the line to shoot two. Something to keep in mind, Connecticut as a team, as was the case last year, last in the WNBA in free throw shooting percentage. Still 75.5%, which is not terrible, but still last in the WNBA. Charles hits the first. By the way, the national anthem you are hearing is taking place on the adjacent court, which is where Washington will meet Phoenix in the second game of our first round single elimination doubleheader following the conclusion of this one. Charles hits both. Big free throws for Connecticut. 40 seconds to go. 11-point Sun lead. Vandersloot wedged against the baseline. Copper stripped. 34.3 seconds to go.
And you knew the hammer screen was coming on the weak side for Allie Quigley, and so did Breon January. She fought through that. That's the reason that Chicago didn't have an open player on that left side of the floor. Great job by Breon January.
A 20-second timeout taken. 92-81, Connecticut in front of Chicago with 34.3 to go. And at this point in time, it is just about cosmetic. Diana Taurasi, Skylar Diggins-Smith, 5-seed Phoenix in a single elimination game against Maisha Hines-Allen, Ariel Atkins, 8-seed Washington, Emma Mieseman. That's coming up next following the conclusion of this game. And Minnesota and LA wait to see who they will play on Thursday night in a single elimination second round doubleheader right back here on ESPN2. Vandersloot tosses. Williams three, won't go. Thomas another rebound, flings it down the floor. And Chicago will foul, but it is all cosmetic at this point.
And I love that Alyssa Thomas passed it forward to DeWanna Bonner, who's the best free throw shooter on the team. Because so often players at the end of the game hold on to it because they want to pad their stats a little bit. I like when the player who's not as good of a free throw shooter instead is unselfish and passes it forward.
Very nice.
We all had that teammate who held the ball at the end of the game just so they could get to the line and pad their stats.
Do you care to name names?
No. But we all have them. High school, college, pros.
That'll do it for Courtney Vandersloot and Allie Quigley, the unbelievably talented married couple. Another tremendous season fighting with a depleted roster. A Chicago group that had to limp to the finish line after losing Diamond DeShields and Azurá Stevens, but one that no doubt will be on everyone's radar in 2021. And more outstanding seasons from those two young women, as well as Kalia Copper, Cheyenne Parker, Ruthie Hebert, Gabby Williams. A lot to be excited about if you're a Chicago Sky fan, but it is the Connecticut Sun who are going to be moving on. A slight differential game in shot clock here, so Connecticut will inbound to make it official with 1.7 to go. The Connecticut Sun are headed to the second round of the